What's up, homie? Hold on. Hey, Gil boy. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. I mean, New Year? No, not yet. Soon. Soon! I want to move the camera, but I don't want to move the camera. We're not going. We're going to leave it. Notice my ring looks like it's on my left. Wait, is that my left? Am I looking in the mirror? No, I'm not. I'm looking at the Motzi in the mirror. What's up? I had the most amazing experience. Solved another huge problem I've been working on solving. I can actually share this. I have a really neat little setup because as part of the the whole having a video game company, two-person video game company, I got some really good mini gaming machines that are that were on sale. So, like, they're normally like almost twice the price of what I bought them for, and they're my little build machine. So I decided on my build machine I would get Unity set up and upgraded to the newest version, and it was HE triple hockey sticks. That's how bad it was. I just figured out the last problem today, and I'm so happy. Hi, Rome, by the way. It almost looks like you're saluting. That's kind of like Rome's here. Salute. You guys, you watch a movie. If you ever want to know someone who is legitimately trained in how to, honestly, even people in the military don't do this right. And I know everyone wants to know the answer to this. Saluting is not put your hand up to your head and then like push your hand out. You ever see someone do this? Like they go, yes, I saluted, or they have their hand up or down. Or maybe they have their fingers tucked or something weird, which is usually you don't see. First of all, you don't wear gloves when you salute. Let's just pretend. It does only hello mode I have right now. So, first off, you have to keep your thumb along your fingers. I think I'm getting like old. It's harder for me to do this, especially with the gloves on. But you have to keep your fingers as straight as possible. You never ever salute without a cover on your head. A cover is a hat. Any kind of hover. If you don't have a hat on your head, you do not salute. If you have a cover, it's called a barracks cover. Did I brush my hair? I did. It's like it's right here over the middle. This is this is completely irrelevant to anything I want to do. Then you salute, like there's like a rule. I think it's like right here somewhere, right? The army does because they're the army, but we're talking about real military people. Oh boy, we're not talking about the fake ones. So this is sort of like positionally. The other thing is like it's very important the position that your arm makes to your head, and when you're if you're standing still, you have to do it in attention. So your feet are at a 45-degree angle. Your heels are touching. If you're standing up, you're standing up straight. And then when you salute. So if you want to know someone who really knows how to salute, if you ever watch the Marines, especially the ones that are highly trained, like especially the ceremonial decorative ones, a salute isn't bring your hand up, like you see people do. You can't really see, but if like I don't bring my hand up like this in a weird way. No. Saluting, no saluting naked for sure. Otherwise, your hand would go down. Well, depending on who you are, I guess. Maybe your belly button. Anyway. You bring your hand straight up into the spot. I'm looking at myself. I should just look at it. You bring your hand straight up to your hat. If you have a hat, it's like whatever it's like an edge of the bill. You have a bear's cap right here. And you bring it, after you're done, you bring it straight down. There's no wide, sweeping gesture to salute. It's like really flowery and fluffy. It's not forward and then back. It's literally just straight up and back down. That's it. I've learned. So my daughter has ASD, or autism spectrum disorder, and I am fairly certain I have some flavor of that spectrum because I am huge on rules. I like rules, or I like programming. I'm just reflecting today. Actually, I was really reflecting today about my military experience and how few people that I knew in the military cared about rules. Oh, I didn't. I was trying to show you guys something I did show you. It doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. Anyway, so like I didn't get along well with my fellow Marines in general because I really liked rules and they did not. Anyone who follows rules is considered a lifer and would not be respected. And incidentally, unless you're like, Adonis type of person, like just really muscular and cool and and people like you. Otherwise, if you care about rules, people don't like you. As was most of my experience in the military, was not the infantry marine type. So there you have it. I did not plan to say any of the stuff I just said. However, I started streaming and I thought I'm just going to jabber a bit. So here I am, jabbering a bit and having fun. Looking at six names. I like clarity of rules. Definitely was talking about this in therapy today. Yeah, rules for someone who has ASD or otherwise, who maybe just feels like rules are important. They help reduce the ambiguity of the world. Jadova, I can't believe you said all that. Jadaba. Sorry, Joe Daba. Sorry. Hello, welcome. How are you? I can believe you clearly haven't hung out on my stream long enough because this is crap I would say all the time. I once told the story of, I'm not going to go into details of this, of urethral surgery I had to have twice, in fact. And I reveled in the terror of all the strictly gendered males in the room. I come for the face. I say for the jabbering. Stream? What stream? Just here for the talking face. Well, that's good because my daughter, my eldest, is now into the your face jokes. I'll say that's annoying, and she'll say your face is annoying, or that's irrelevant. Your face is irrelevant. Now, for me, because I always say your face jokes, I personally love it. Posey does not. Posey, my wife, Liz, aka Liz, and so she'll start doing your face jokes. And Liz will say, okay, that's enough. And in my mind, I'm like, I do it about that much too. Like, oh, I gotta watch my your face joke. So I save it for my daughter. I like your face jokes. It's fun. They're good for me. I've been watching. There's I'm just gonna talk real bit. Okay. Any complaint? I could code too. Tonight I will be working more on that console thing, but I don't feel like jumping right into coding. So I'm going to talk just a little bit, smidgen, because I feel like it. There's a YouTube personality / streamer, a developer, senior, I don't know what level. I mean, really senior guy, who works at Netflix and who has worked at lots of different places. Very, very smart. And he does these videos I've been watching, which I thought were quite interesting. And it makes me want to do those type of videos. But when you watch somebody do something like, I can do that, and then you try to do it, and you're like, maybe I'm not quite as good at it as I thought. Oh no. Jodaba? How do you say your name? Jodaba? You're not new here. What did where? I said a number of things. I was looking at the previous chat to try and remember. So Staff. that it? You're from the stock world. I'm probably like, oh yeah, we talk all the time. I had no idea where you're going with that. I think I know who you're talking about. You're talking about Primogen. That's what I was talking about. And I avoided. I'm from the old Twitch world. Oh, it's the old world. Is it? Have you changed your name? The before time. Is your name different than it used to be, or is it? Or is this the same name that you've always had? Before. Nope, it's been the same. Yeah, okay. I didn't think your name had changed, but there's some people who've changed their names and they completely threw me off. Yeah, when it was just science and technology. I just don't remember you. No, I do remember your name. I just don't remember like the historical context. It's not that I don't remember you, because your name obviously very familiar. The first time we met though was, a little over a year ago. Which you said this is the most impure content I've ever seen on Twitch. And apparently I was talking about half working code. Oh, that was when I was working on the quest board stuff. And Jitspo too, right? I remember that stream well. I don't. You were shooting juice all over. Yeah, I'm all about juice shooting. Just in every direction. So, I typically avoid YouTube personalities that talk about development. And the reason I really don't like watching these videos, there are ones that are just like purely educational. Their whole job is to give you some slice of knowledge about something. Then you have the opinionated software engineer. I don't remember the name of the game, but you were shooting juice all over everyone. Many wild jokes were made. I don't remember either. I mean, I could probably look it up. Juice shooting. Anyway, so I don't like the personalities because the way you get people's attention on the internet is a majority of it is outrage. You generate outrage. People will create an outrageous claim and then have a video about their strong opinions about it. And then people who either agree or disagree will come in either to validate their assumptions or to, yell at the person who they don't agree with. And I don't like that because I think if you're going to do a video about technology, software, whatever, if your target is to get views by generating outrage or making strong claims in one way or another, not only do you have to struggle with confirmation bias, but you might be putting stuff out there that people either misinterpret, they don't learn. I like teaching people. I know there's many different ways to do things out there. I won't lie that I do kind of like creating controversy in software development because I think there's so much fluidity in it. But I try to avoid those type of people because I think to me, they aren't dumb, but the notion that you're going to create some religious view of programming to me is wrong. I don't agree with it. I don't like it. However, Primogen and some of the people he does these like reaction videos, they don't do that, right? So now that I've dipped my toe in it, I realize they have opinions, but the really good people, the ones who they have opinions, they think they know what's right, but they're never going to, put a stake in the ground and say, this is to exclusion of all else. And that Primogen he has his own opinions and there's things I don't agree with, but he's also like, whatever, this is what I agree. This is what I believe. And this is why I believe it. But, do what you want, right? It's kind of how he works. watching me when I meet someone I've already met. I remember, I just don't remember the clothes. Yeah, exactly. I mean, Jodoba's been around. We should all be cartoon characters. Yes, we are. Look, you got your little characters at the bottom. That'd be pretty sweet. Hey, Sorrow. Hi, how's it going? Happy holidays to you too, Sorrow. It was like a third-person puzzle game where you shoot out minions. And for some reason, I can't recall. You could also shoot some sort of goo. I don't remember. If I was playing somebody else's game, I would definitely not remember it. No offense against those people, but I didn't play a lot of people's games, and the one I mostly played was Jelly Car, which was like a community game. What up, Lurk? Thanks for the what up, Lurk. Hey. Anyway, everybody, how has your time been so far in this holiday? Hopefully, Rome, you're doing okay. Staying warm, perhaps. And Sarah, I hope you're having a good time. So the one thing that really gets me, though, I'm gonna go on a soapbox. Okay, I'm not really in the mode of recording this for any sort of video, but the thing that Primogen and some of the people he likes talk about, and they get strongly opinionated about, is there's this concept of clean code. And there's a guy who wrote a whole article about how clean code is better, even if it makes your code less efficient in terms of performance. And then there's people who have the complete opposite opinion and say, no clean code. Don't ever worry about it. It makes your code worse. Everything works, right? And the reason there's this fallacy in the whole thing. Like, Primogen doesn't like the solid principle, which I remember quoting last. And his point was, you don't need to bring up solid. That's just good programming. And like, he doesn't really believe in a bunch of patterns, but he's got a couple patterns he thinks are useful. He doesn't believe in clean code, but he certainly writes clean code, right? And he's like, well, no, we're talking. I don't know how I can't reflect on how he talks. He's got a cool vibe to him. He definitely got like a cool guy, nerdy vibe to him. So king of the nerds, but he starts talking about how the clean code methodology is really bad because people they over engineer their solution and they create all these. Well, now you got to start creating the abstractions you don't need. And he hates the dry principles. He doesn't like don't repeat yourself. And I don't think he's being hyperbolistic. I think he truly believes it, although he's got a big personality for it, right? But the reason I don't like that is all of these concepts, any concept that exists, they aren't there to be rules that are concrete, which is funny because we started with me talking about how I like rules. But the dry concept, don't repeat yourself, which means don't write your code where you're creating repetition all the time. That doesn't mean everything you do, you have to scrutinize and never write the same thing twice. Like saying that, implying that is throwing the baby out with the bathwater, as they say, right? It's like, yeah, there might be some dirt around it, but there's still a baby in there. You get a cuddle, little baby. I mean, I don't know why you just throw the bathwater out, but that's an old saying. And then the solid principles. Yeah, they're called principles, not the solid rules of programming you must always follow. And like the never nesters bother the crap out of me because like, that's actually the reverse. Like you must write code where you never nested, right? And the clean coders, the people that say you must always write code that was clean or you must always do it this way. It's just that's not reality. There's never a case where that really concretely works. And if you're in a situation where that happens, hopefully you have an opportunity to provide some feedback for change. I frankly have never worked on a team that followed clean code principles at all. I'm usually the one trying to encourage people to follow some kind of standard principles. It baffles me that there might actually be teams out there that their whole purpose in life is to write code as perfectly as they possibly can. That feels like something that never actually exists. But people claim that exists, so okay. And so when someone said, I don't write clean code, it's like that's bull honky, friends. Primogen writes clean code. The thing that he gets hung up on I don't know why I'm stuck on him, but like, I'm going to just let it all out. I watched a lot of his videos today. I think he's a freaking amazing developer and speaker. He does amazing videos. There's nothing wrong with what he does. I just think that this notion that you're going to say, I don't write clean code. I write, they use this word like not pessimistic code, you know, don't pessimize your code, but also don't over optimize. I don't think clean code really, the principle is always write your code with abstractions every single time you write it. I just don't think that's the case. Every piece of material that exists in the world is meant for some sort of suggestive interpretation, not as the holy Bible of what you're supposed to do. So anyone who takes clean code as a concept and says, don't follow clean code, they're just full of it. I'm sorry. You don't write perfectly clean code. You never do. I mean, I've been doing game dev, like, yeah, you can't write everything perfectly. You write something that works, you solve the problem, and then you observe what's happening and you refactor it. And in fact, that came up a lot actually with Primogen, which was great. Like, they're like, hey, yes, eventually refactor it, eventually, but don't start with clean code because you don't know what you're doing yet. And Primogen says it's really great. Like, always you're prototyping a lot and then you're refining. You're not starting in the beginning and writing a perfect architecture. And that just doesn't usually happen. Unless you have years of experience, you don't usually write it out from the beginning and it's perfect. It doesn't happen. So I know the only purpose I had about this was I watched a lot of videos today. I was reflecting on how I stream and what I'd like people to learn. And the one thing I would say is that I have a lot of principles and practices I follow that go in the face and contrast other people. But I've never been in a situation ever where I truly think that a senior developer that can solve problems has to like fundamentally change everything about themselves. I have been in a situation where I've gotten a senior developer to follow the standards and practices of a team, the expectations of a team, because it's not because of them and how they code. It's because when you're in a team, the more consistency you have, the easier it is for the team to code together. That's why. When we talk about maintainability and clean code, what we're really talking about is getting a system in place in which the team that you're working with can work together well on code and maintain it. Usually, clean code principles, solid principles, dry principles, those things help that. It's not to say everything you write has to be perfect. So it's just like these the clickbaity titles, the messaging that like, yeah, we don't follow this here, this is dumb. Which, again, not what Primogen does, but I'm being hyperbolistic about this. Those things are just, those have what made me avoid watching, programming streamers and YouTubers. In fact, I've watched some, I've sat through videos where I'm like, this person doesn't know what the hell they're talking about. Primogen's good. I highly recommend checking him out. He reads articles direct, puts his thoughts processes there. He does his own videos and he streams. Like, he's really cool. I mean, obviously, I don't have to. Matzi's promoting this, guy that has 150,000+ followers on Twitter. Yeah, just in case he needs one or two more, you should go check him out. All right, let me get caught up on chat. And soapbox. Just traveled back to my city for work. Was on a week and a half vacation. That's nice. And well, most part, weird therapy day. Oh yeah, you have to follow up with me offline. Holiday was good. Spent a lot of time outside working, clearing up the back of property. Felt good to make progress. Always make progress. I have had a restful time. By the way, if anything, like if you're talking about advice for life, if you have any project you ever want to do, the best way to get it done is always make some even just like the tiny little progress. Just make something, because eventually it'll get done, or you'll snowball and get it done all at once. Too much food? Yes. We were okay. Only rule I live by is kiss. Yes, kiss everybody. Honesty, guidelines, rules are meant for newer intermediate coders on code bases that need to integrate with those people. Yeah. My only rule is don't modify ChatGPT code. Just take it straight from ChatGPT and shove it into your system. The whole point of being the expert is understanding what works in niche situations and making choices on what to go with. I have a niche story about that. Oh, today was also weird because I got a new pet. What? What kind of new pet? Non-binary code. That is the trend. I I hope that type. I think Tokes. I understand your intent there, and I know you're not joking about non-binary people, but I do like the idea that code is by nature binary because of the ones and zeros. But like robots being non-binary is really funny to me. Can you go back to writing assembly? Oh, can we go back to writing assembly and throw out everything? I don't care how many babies are in the bathwater. Exactly. The meme would be the GitHub repo for FizzBuzz. What, the assembly thing? The baby? Oh, the baby with the bathwater. Yeah. Give us the link. Mati Simp stream tonight. Yeah, here, I'll give you guys the Primogen. On YouTube, he's called the Prime Time.
Secret sharing.
All right,
it's 3 a.m. Only good things happen at 3 a.m.
Mati Simps tonight. Best time to plant a tree is in the past. Second best is right now. The new pet is worms. That's a pet? It's like, wow, I got worms in my poo. It's like how you can overcode, clean codify a simple solution. Really hoping they don't escape their enclosure. You know, you wake up and you're being eaten alive. How do you turn a 5 to 10 line extremely simple program into a giant repo? Very simply. Yeah, there was an interesting point he made where there's really well-known developers. I'll take a look tomorrow. Yeah, he's worth a shot. There's really well-known developers that have like absurd coding standards. Like, you know, any method that's longer than 8 lines of code is bad. Refactor it. Which incidentally, I'm not opposed to having a line limit, but mine was like 30 lines of code or 40 if you're using C# just because all the stupid extra lines for braces. Like, having some limitation is a good way to evaluate whether what you're writing necessarily has to be as complex as you've written it. Look at the npm package. Is odd, is even, is false. Yeah. I like when people kind of analyze a take of philosophical stance about programming. Sometimes they share very good ideas. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, Primogen, while I don't agree with some of his views, like, I think there is an echelon. If you were doing one of those, like, you know, S tier versus whatever, there's an echelon of technical YouTubers that all understand that when you talk about philosophical things, when you talk about like what's better or worse, there's not really well, there are some that are clearly like the worst, but there's a lot of flexibility in that conversation. And the first one I watched of him, he watched a video of that C# dude. What is his name? He's got an accent. He's a Microsoft guy. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. And I should, because he was the one I watched first. And he watched this video where Primogen's never used C#. He ended up posting like C# better than Java because he was trying to rile his base. And it was Nick Chopsis. He was reasonable. He was like, yeah, that makes sense. This part doesn't make sense. But they're both very reasonable. Like, yeah, you know, I'm not saying your thing's bad or that, but don't just say C# is bad, right? That's what Nick Chopsis was trying to say. And Primogen's like, yeah, that's true. That's legit, right? You know how, what's left pad? Left pad? Oh, left padding. Oh. Arzulo, hello. How goes your crabs? Hopefully they're flourishing. I mean, you have crabs, right? Dave H, the lurker. What? Yeah, Arzulo's got crabs. Here, I got the link right there. Copy. Sandy's Great Escape. I haven't had a chance to play. I was playing it a bit, and then I went on vacation, and then I got COVID, and then everything stopped. This is Sandy's Great Escape. Did not mean to flip everybody off. I was just scratching my eye. It's so hard to demonstrate what is best or worst in development, particularly game development. I'm too tired to go into those discussions at my house. Yeah, I'm not. I love going into those conversations. I love talking about it because to me, I'm always learning by challenging my assumptions. And I think this is true for most really good well, I don't want to imply that I'm a really good developer, but like what I've seen from, I think I'm an okay developer, but what I've seen from really good and growing developers and like senior people, they have opinions, but they're willing to change those opinions and views if they are presented with something that makes more sense or they've tried something that turns out to work better. I also, and working on craft. Oh, you are working on craft. If anyone hasn't read about left pad instant, you'll lose hope in web dev. Nah, fine. I hope you're feeling better. I am. It took 18 plus days for me to stop testing positive. But now I'm better. Jodoba, it's not, the real problem isn't that someone changed the library to add left padding that messed up everything. It's that people aren't using, something to protect themselves from that. Like Artifactory or some other artifact repository. They aren't being careful. And so they're opening the door for a major risk. Hold on, I got a thing. Our publishers let us know about a review that came in. I was just responding to them. Now, true, but the fact that the author can just yoink their package off NPM and crash the internet should never be a thing that could happen. They had good reason to yoink it, but NPM. Oh, that was what library was it? It wasn't jQuery. It was some other graphics library or something, right? The review said it was a Japanese reviewer. And they said they played for 2 hours and they noticed that the menus, battles, and dialogues hadn't been translated. And the rest of early. But like the whole full game isn't translated yet. Well, so there's much of games that we have right now. It's still in process, right? Like this stuff takes time. It takes effort. So it's a Japanese player who noticing that not all the words are translated, which is legit. Can't really do anything about it. You can't do die. You can spawn yourself as a random character, or you can spawn yourself as a specific character. Which I don't know if. Wait, can you get? No, don't worry about that one. Ignore that. Voxel prize. I don't know if this still works. It might still work. If that link doesn't work, I can give you a list of like a bunch of the people that you could spawn as. I don't think it'll let me paste this in here, will it? Nope, reach character limit. If that link doesn't work, well, we even have a shiny snake, and we have a Teachy. We have Onion Knight. Yeah, listen, I haven't done a single thing with this voxel tar thing for over a year. It's impressive it still works. Anyway, so I think I'm done with my soapbox and high heart. I will say that my last couple years, no, you need more soapbox. Okay, give me a topic. What else am I supposed to soapbox about? I got it all out. There's nothing left in there. I said it all. All the things I needed to say.
Don't want any chickens.
Oh, the audio. Where's the audio on that? That was weird. Why did that not have audio? Here. I will see if I can replay that one. No. Not gonna go there. It had audio for you? Why did I not hear the audio? That's weird. Hey, that's great. I don't want to hear things. Fine. That's very strange.
Thank you very much for the 777 biddies and telling me how much you love me through.
Oh, I know why.
Gross.
There's a problem with my plug-in here. I might be time to get a new microphone. My microphone's not playing all the audio. Like there's some issue with the channels not connecting. Okay. Anyway, I do appreciate Killboy that you're just loading slowly into the air. I am really impressed. So as much as I like to like bag on RPG in a Box because of the decided lack of improvement in certain key areas, I'm really impressed that it still runs for something that I have literally not maintained in over a year. Anyway, when we last saw our heroes, we were working on a console. I'm gonna make some custom consoles, man. And let's see. The problem is there's supposed to be this like I can't even select. Okay. All commands. I try to make it so none of these show, but I'm not gonna bother with that right now. I'll figure like there's this whole thing where I can like disable built-in, but if I disable built-in, it like it gets rid of everything. Like nothing. Well maybe it does. Like I was trying to find out like maybe there's a plot. If not disable, yeah, right. So it will disable everything. File commands, editor commands. Is there one in here that's like, yeah, so like, okay. They made every single one of these flags. So both, what? I don't understand. If it's not enabled, if it's not disabled, and this is not disabled, and that's not disabled, they're not ors. So like, what? I don't understand what these are in here for. I don't understand at all. If you disable a single one, it disables all of it. So why would you even have the flag there? Well, I don't get it. Disable built-in all. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Just who cares? Get on the soapbox about Sony's recent activity. I haven't heard about that. Do you think they're going to succeed? I mean, patents have to be approved. Seems unlikely. And there is a factor that if you haven't submitted a patent and something is ubiquitous, the likelihood that you're going to get it through is very challenging. There are people who have copyrights, or I don't know if it's patents too, but on a word, and when those words become too ubiquitous, they lose it. Like, this is why Kleenex and Q-Tip and other companies really try not to make it a household name. And they'll fight any company that uses their words because they have to show that it's not a ubiquitous word. Very unlikely. Probably just them, causing a stir. That's why Google stopped pushing people to say Google it. Right. Because once it becomes like common vernacular, it's really hard to to claim that whatever your copyright or whatever is unique and justifying a copyright. Which is also weird when people try to copyright a word that already is ubiquitous. Yeah, you have to, right? You have to spend a lot of money actively defending. So, like, people get down on Nintendo about how hard they clamp down on people making fan games from old ROMs and sending cease and desists. But if companies don't do that, they weaken their ability to defend their brand. And companies are entities that need to defend their brand to exist. Their whole existence is dependent upon some of these things. How it goes, you know? Such, c'est la vie. Okay, so we're going to go learn how to make some custom commands, which I have zero idea how to do. So this should be fun. I'm going to go look at the Quantum Console documentation. Hold on. My thing with Nintendo is that they don't want people to run tournaments for their games, but they also refuse to do it themselves. Yeah. I mean, they could license it. But okay, but there's another thing you have to consider. And it's actually very simple to the similar to the Apple problem. And it's all about what the brand means. Now, also, Nintendo is based out of Japan, and so likely there are some cultural factors, you know, from the top-down leadership. But if the brand is focused on like kid friendliness, because that's what Nintendo really sells at, like all ages sort of thing, right? They probably believe that tournaments aren't in keeping with their brand. So companies like Sony and Microsoft, they don't care. They just they market their product, high-end video gaming platform, right? But Nintendo has a very specific brand, and just like Apple's brand is very much like, you know, friendly, nice. They do allow things that are explicit and mature, but they put really tight controls around it. Also, Sony side, you violate your PlayStation service by reselling your game, effectively cucking game stores and then being actively anti-consumer. I have gone on a couple rants about companies because of the Unity thing. No, I don't care about the Unity thing personally. Like, whatever. Give me that problem. But the thing that people forget about when it comes to companies and their existences is that companies are interested in existing. And a company that has a specific focus area or brand will defend that or do things that support it. So without regulation, this is especially the reason why capitalism, like pure capitalism, is a problem. Without regulation, companies will take any step they can to continue to exist. And you can say that there might be some people at the company or even a good portion of the company that have some sort of moral standing. But at the end of the day, for the company to make money to pay people that work at it, they've got to do things to continue to exist. And so they'll find the shortest path. For instance, if you talk about like companies that sell sugar, their interest is getting you to buy their sugar. I can still remember the commercials for pure cane sugar from Hawaii. And those companies, they'll try to convince you not to use the other types of sugars because theirs is better and cleaner. They'll create a narrative that convinces you to buy organic food, right? A company that is just purely interested in profit, which a lot of them are, they'll sell something as organic as long as they meet whatever minimum requirements are labeled as organic. Even the ones that claim to be trustworthy. You can trust us because we don't even, we follow all these things. That's still a brand decision. And the intent is to get money from people, right? Consumers. So like, it's true that maybe companies don't always have the best approach, or it could be companies like Sony, the only way they could think of was doing this sort of proactively anti-consumer. But clearly, it's not hurting their business. And when you talk about people say, vote, some people don't like vote with your money, right? But it is true that if you don't spend money on something, if people like truly don't want, if a company sees their profits being impacted by a decision they made, they will change something. Full stop. My most favorite example recently, and it's not like a real world example, it's from a show called The Marvelous Miss Maisel. Without spoiling too much, there is in like a later show, there's a burlesque place, and Maisel recommends that they put things in the women's bathroom for women that they need, like sanitary stuff. And the guys that run the place are like, that's dumb. But then the owner shows up and he's like, he's looking at all the patrons, and most of them are women, and he's making lots of money, and he's like, put that stuff in the bathroom, right? Because he's a businessman. He's not, that guy may or may not be misogynist, but he definitely sees money. So he'll make a change for money, right? So if Sony was really being affected by this anti-consumer policy, they would stop doing it. Same reason why those ads that you see online that are completely deceptive about video games, you're like, oh, that's a fun video game. You click on, it's a completely different game. If those didn't work, they wouldn't do it. I'm sorry, it's true. It's not, you don't even think like your personal feeling about it. Just think logically in the world how things function. If outrage marketing didn't work, people wouldn't do it. If negative news didn't create more viewers, agencies wouldn't report on negative news, and they wouldn't find ways to create outrage and disaster and fear so that people would consume their material. It's just freaking fact, friends. The thing is, technically what they're doing is not legal. I watched a whole video about this. It might have even been game theorists. But the reason nobody cares is because there's bigger fish for government to go after to get money from companies. A company that has these deceptive ads can get away with it because they're not selling the game. You get the game for free. Yeah, it might be free to play, so you have to pay money, but then you've already made a decision to pay for it after you've already been deceived, right? And some dude made a puzzle game from the ad. It was total flop because it's not fun. Yes! Jodaba, I played one of those games. It's like, I really want this. And I found one that it was the one where you like have the princess and the prince or the knight and someone else. You're trying to save a king or whatever. And you have to like move things with your finger. It wasn't that great. It just wasn't. And so those games, like but that's the funniest thing is like, oh my God, they're right. Like the real game isn't fun. But like watching somebody play it poorly is what gets you hooked. You just gotta move that. Just do that and it's fine. Now, arguably, the real game might also not be fun because it just wasn't made. Like the game itself was made well, but like the puzzles weren't really the type of thing that would keep you going. Or the concept of the puzzle doesn't have longevity. So like the initial concept might be fun shortly, but then after that, you can't really, there's only so many variations of open and close these things that you can get around. I'm doing a really great job of working tonight, friends. We're going to make a command. Okay. So we're going to make a debug. We're going to make a debug source. successfully I'm filibustering myself apparently. Okay, let me show you guys one other thing. Because I want to show you something that's completely unrelated. We're gonna debug Mottie's face. Okay. So this is my remote desktop to one of my little mini machines I was talking about earlier. You can see now the game is the editor has opened and there's no errors. It took me a long time to get to this point. Okay, go do your thing. Thanks for the thanks for the reprieve. And I today found out one of the most infuriating thing. I was getting this weird error. There was like some DLL was missing. And it only happened after I upgraded. And I was banging my head. I put questions in the forum. I talked to Wallaber. Wallaber's like, I don't know, that's a weird issue. And like people are saying, oh, completely clear out everything and reinstall, and I was like, no, that can't be, because these are brand new machines, or mostly brand new. Like this is the first time I've installed it on here. And it turned out Unity reporting on errors is dumb. It's just not smart. Turns out I had this Steam SDK that I had installed on my main machine. And I ran some installation process that sets up all the files. And then I checked all that in the version control. Well, for whatever reason, after that point, once I've done the upgrade, whatever connection it had to find the DLLs, the files that were underlying the code that was necessary, got messed up. And so it was looking at a different location than it should have. So to fix it, first off, I just deleted this folder and then it worked. And then what I did was I put the files there and just checked in the base files, and I did not run the process that installs everything. And now I have 2022.3.15 working on this machine. You guys notice the name of the Sage Alterium shift? So this is my Sage machine. It's going to be for Switch, because Sage Switch, get it? Which is really funny because Sage is non-binary, because Sage could switch. Anyway, my story. I guess I should get to work now. Now that Jotaba is gone. Doing important things with important people. Let's make a debug section. Yeah. Or maybe we'll make it maybe a console. Or do we make it debug console? What do we want to call it actually? Where did I put the debug console? Did I put something in here? Let's make a game. Well, we're making debugger stuff right now, but did I put it in core? I might have put it in core. Did I not put it somewhere? Where did I put it? Console window. That's Quantum Console. Did I not make a debug console? Debug UI container. Nope. Guess I didn't. Yeah, but how does that help me now? You're not using Unity. What do you want me to say? I couldn't help you if I wanted to. I barely even know anything about Unreal. Should probably learn it someday. I did have a brief tangent where I started looking into how I could make custom visual scripting nodes. But I want to play finished. I know, I'm sorry. I want a finished AS. I'm sorry, Killboy. Trust me when I say that every moment we haven't completed the game is like a moment of anxiety build up. There's a strong urge, but you know, and the thing is, the battle system is working now. I think I showed you guys last on Saturday. So now I've got to do the enhancements to the battle system, but the revision is working. And I think I still have to do a couple more things to make sure it's fully working and has localization working. And then I can start on the actual enhancements. But it's just like, it's just, you know, and just, you know, doing stuff. Stop hurting my heart. Quit playing games with my heart. Should I put a debug console in core? I feel like core is getting overloaded. I think I'm going to make a debug. Is it really a debug console? I guess so. I don't think it's like a cheat console. I don't want to use the word console because of video games. You want to? Oh, but is it debug a namespace that will break something? It might. Sometimes I add a folder and then I have to retract it because it like overrides some other namespace. Not too good. I'm literally in the middle trying to make 3 games at the same time because I cannot decide which one I want to make. Yeah, well, hashtag life. No, first, before I can actually do commands, I'm going to learn a smidgen about them. Okay. So we have commands, which is an attribute. So apparently you can add an attribute to a static method. Okay, not bad. 2 commands, you can do a prop. Look at that. You can do it on a property. That's cute. Okay. Using static functions and fields as commands is very easy. Here are 4 examples. So in this case, we make a command that takes an integer. In scenario 1, a command will be generated that has no return type and takes an argument of an int. Oh. Int prop will be generated. First argument will take 0 arguments and will return an int. Okay. Let's see how that gets used, though. How does it get used in the... Doesn't say. Command kill all, mono target type all. Look at that. Non-static. Non-static has more caveats because it's still very simple. The declaring class is the mono behavior. The quantum registry is used, which is this like thing here, which you have to set it. Okay, using the registry in conjunction with monotype target registry. Okay, that's fine. But it doesn't show like how the command is. The command will be bool hyphen field. Okay, so this is like if you want to get a value versus if you want to like call something that does something. You know, like, oh, and you can do a delegate. That's cute. So a delegate, you could just shove it. Must be strongly typed. It means the following is not allowed. Okay. You can't make a delegate. A delegate. Okay. Weird. What a command action. All actions are in that. Okay. Okay. The action system allows you to write powerful interactive commands. That's cute. Here's how we create our custom act. Value, wait real time, return new. Okay. Read input. The following example, wait for the user to enter a key. Oh, that's cute too. Follow example has users select a choice from a list of consoles. That's neat. So we can do like, we can actually do input options. That is really cool. I like that is a possibility in this. So I can basically do like a little console list. I mean, I know I'm going to need some of that. So good to know that too. So then we have autocomplete. So autocomplete is also very interesting. So while you're typing it, it'll give you that little pop-up. Contextual autocomplete. Suggestions can be selected by clicking on them. I tried clicking on them, it didn't work. So there must be some issue. Include tags, suggestions. Okay, that's neat. So I can put a suggestions attribute on top, and it will give me it'll give the options that could be put in there. That's neat. Okay. And it'll say the type. Very interesting. So this is like Is scene loaded is the method. They put the annotation right next to the freaking parameter? Wow. That's amazing. Is scene loaded? Oh, that's crazy. Hey, Lewis VD. Thanks for the raid. How's it going in your world? I'm not ranting anymore. I was ranting for a little bit. Hopefully you're well. I don't know if I have a shout out. If I don't have a shout out for you, I'll give you one. Hello, Lewis. You are apparently a snow person. How are ya? How goes the battle? What were you working on tonight? I'm working on in-game console commands. At the moment, only for debugging, but if people sweet talk me enough, I might make them available for everybody if there's some, some incentive tied to it. Scene name tag. So how does it decide? Kazaquam suggests scene names for the argument as expected. That's crazy. So that just must be something that's available by default. Okay. That's super interesting. Okay. I looked at the registry already. I can't see around my stupid... Well, anyway, hello to you, and I hope you had a good stream. And if you're going to chat out, I'll see you later. This is a game I'm working on right now. I'm going to be putting in console command. Where's my... This is what I'm working on here. So can we do is... Something about scene? No. Weird. All commands, right? All commands, all macros, all namespaces. There's all namespaces. That's crazy. Things are good. Doing well. Haven't been streaming since I'm office worker now. Yeah. Got some time this holidays. Looks like I've got some mad stream delay. Oh yeah. Well, you know, it's got to travel all the way across the globe. You guys are headed into your summer, right? Did I ever tell you the story that I was in Australia once with the Marines, the United States Marines, and we trained in Shoalwater Bay, and most of my unit did not bring any real warm clothing for nighttime because we were like, it's Australia. It's not going to be cold. Famous last word. I'm partially learning and I'm partially, being distracted. What are extras anyway? Farm console comes with extra non-essential attributes. Okay. Command prefix. Test.ooh, I don't really care about that. Juicy ignored. Nah. It's a hot Christmas. I never got to go there, Killboy. Actually, Queensland was pretty nice. We didn't go to like any big city. It's fine. Events and callbacks, okay. I don't know if I care about any of those things. Included commands. Fauna comes with many commands included out of the box. Yes. I don't really want them all, though. That's the problem. You don't want your ghost stuff is the problem. Extra commands are implemented in separate classes and files that are found in the extras folder. These commands are added for convenience and not required. Right? Graphics commands, sure. So these are just all of their existing things. That's fine. Oh, you're in Queensland. Does that guy still sing in that one place in the city center? When we were there, which was, I mean, to be fair, you probably were you alive back then? I mean, when I when I was in Queensland, it was 2001. over 20 years ago. And I remember there was a nice woman. Well, I mean, I was in my 20s, so like, very attractive woman who was hanging out with some of the Marines and us. And there was a guy who was singing the Kryptonite song. If I go crazy, then will you still call me Superman? But he was singing it really poorly. And not my buddy, but the guy that forced me to hang out with him, he was making fun of him, and the woman was like, "That's not very nice," and she was getting really annoyed. She was getting really annoyed at the guy that I was with. I'm alive and well, will you be there holding my hand? Okay, so this is BS. I've already confirmed this is BS. Okay. These are all, their code doesn't exclude. I'll have to let them know that. So how, I'm so confused. So I need to make a debug tool. So let's just try it. We're going to just try this. I already have a debug tool. I'm going to see if I can just make one of the commands show up in the comments. Okay. Debug. What do I call my debug controller? I don't remember. Debug manager? Oh, okay. What I called it? Yes. Anyway, it was fun. I liked it out there. I mean, I liked Australia. Had some pictures. But the guy I was with was like, he was the type of Marine that would go out and get drunk and get in a fight. Just universally, he would just go out and get in fights with people. And I don't like he had something to prove. So he would get drunk first, and then he would fight. But this time, the best part was, it was me, my buddy, and him, and we were just hanging out at some bar or club or something, and we're like, we got to pay attention. Where did Anderson go? And he disappeared, and we're like, whatever, you know. And we found him hiding behind a car because he got in a fight with somebody, and the guy, you know, socked him hard. Don't mess with Australians, man. They're tough. I thought it was pretty funny. He'd fit in well. Let me see. What can we turn into a... We have change level. I'm going to make another method. Public void change level with an int. We're going to make it static because we have to do it static. Well, we'll do it statically. And then do I have an instance on this? No. Yeah, well, he didn't fit in well because he got socked in the face. You know, I don't know how well he actually fit in, but it was a good time. I didn't mind it. I'm not really like, I'm not a major partier. Oh, I can't do private setup. I'm not a major partier or anything. I just liked exploring. But when you're hanging out with a bunch of Marines, you know, they want to go do things like drink. I was like, I didn't really want to go drink. You were what? A Marine that liked to go drink? Getting punches means the bogans are warming up to you. I suppose. Listen, I was in the Marine Corps Infantry, but I'm still not much of a fighter. You're a major partier? I wasn't. I just never was. It was just not me. Never in my life have I been. I like to dance. I like to hang out in groups sometimes. I'm kind of an introvert. But I don't really like to drink. And like, I never like going to bars. What's the point? You just sit around and drink? You know, and if I was somewhere where there was dancing, I wasn't going to drink because I want to dance. Then I need water because I would just like be drenched in sweat all the time. I used to go dancing and have to bring like 4 pairs of shirts to change into. Pairs of shirts? 4 shirts. I don't think you get pairs of shirts. Do you? Change level. Okay, here it is. Okay, so we're gonna do instance. We'll do a little if instance does not equal null. Matzi, why don't you use guard clauses? Because I don't like them. Use them if you want to. That is not me. I'm not that person. Okay? Relax. Everything's fine. I don't know why I did this. So let's just, we're going to see if we can get this to work. Command. Look, we got like command handler, command name. Cute. And then I'll just try it. YOLO. My wife and I were swing dancers. We did a lot of swing dancing. We competed, we taught. But it's a whole nother world. Just like in the game, in the development world, they're like the king of the nerds. That completely exists in swing dancing world. The great part about swing dancing, especially in, you know, when I started, however many years ago it was now, too many years ago, 2005. When I started swing dancing, I lived in a very binary world, so male, female. And so I'm going to use binary terms, but there were a lot of women and not as many men. And being a young, single guy who also, I had just moved to Minnesota like a few months back or a year back. I can't remember how long it was. Having a place to interact socially was great. I liked it. I don't know if there was an error there. Is there a change level? We do have a change level. Look at that. Look at that. That's all we had to do to add a comment. That's amazing. I mean, it won't work from here because you have to have a character. But we can prove if it works or not, because what we're going to do, we're going to go in here. Atlas is currently on level 3. Now, oh look, I might have to make it not put all this garbage in here. Oh, I forgot that I didn't exclude the inputs. I have to turn off the inputs for this. Okay, so anyway, I think I can still do this. Change level. Make it. Okay, so we just changed the level. So if this works, boom. That's really cool. This is gonna be really amazing. I'll be able to add a bunch of stuff so that the testers can make changes. No, not so that the players can make changes. Only the tester. I'm showing you something you'll never get to use. Isn't that great? I thought so. Okay. So I think I should make it so that when the console opens, it pauses game activity. How am I gonna do that? I'd have to do something that checks whether the player activity needs to be locked. Where else do I do this? And I do it when this menu opens, for sure. And that is main menu. So when the main menu controller opens, show main menu. Here. Okay. Show main menu. No. Show. Oh, show. Okay, here it is. So if it is open, then we lock control and exclusion all events. Okay. That is easy peasy. Current map scene is just game main instance. We're just going to rip that off entirely. Console window here. So when we do an update and if it's open, we close it. If it's closed, we open it. I didn't put a time. I need to put like a delay on this because otherwise it'll like go on forever. What did I do here? It would have to be when you press it, it resets a timer. How would I do that? I mean, I want to do the... Whoa, Gavin! What you been up to, yo? Did you have a good holiday time? I did just say, what have you been up to, yo? Game main. Excuse me. Really don't know what's going on with my throat. Come on. You can do it. Aww. Then I think I have to go find out how it unlocks. Hide? This should be fine. Oh, dang it. Right, wait, what did I include here? Oh, I made a current map. Long time no see. Been working. How's your project going? Your online game? Oh, I didn't do current map thing. Wasn't paying attention. Your multiplayer game. Are you still working on that? So this should prevent the character interactions from happening. All right. So that was okay. So this is really cool. So on my YouTube, I don't know if it shows in the description of the Twitch, but what's really cool about this is outside of the headache I had getting the console working, I literally just had to go to a static command in my debug manager and just literally add that annotation, and it just worked. I think that's really cool. This is a pretty cool tool. Cool tool. This is what I was hoping it would be. Sometimes you get an asset that looks really good, and then you start using it, it's like, eh. I tried this tool called Fast Script Reload, and even this one called Hot Reload because it was on sale. They don't work. They don't work with this project. They too many problems. There's too much, like it's slower to recompile, and the fast loading doesn't happen often enough to make it better. Really annoying. All right. So now, it's supposed to lock it. I just press it real fast. Okay, it's because it's like locking and unlocking it so fast because I need to put a timer on it. Okay, so what I need to do is have a wait timer and then a reset. Okay, so I already have a wait timer. So we're gonna. I already made a wait timer for a whole different reason. So if all of these things are true, wait timer has waited, and we'll do it just for like, it doesn't have to be very long, just like point. Oh my god, I don't want 0.05 wet. Stop that. Okay, so the wait timer is like my non coroutine wait timer. Basically, I made something where anytime something's called, it'll check it. So if I'm holding the button down, the wait timer will be triggering. So now I got to make a reset option. And that should be pretty easy. Just like reset timer, right? Should be pretty easy. So process timer duration and key. I don't want to put it under a pivot button. Public static. I wonder if this is going to mess up because I'm using all the static stuff. Did I use a instance somewhere? No. I need to do something where this gets initialized. If I make it a property, do properties get retained? Do I need to make a static initializer somewhere here? So it asks if there's a key. I think I have to do something that like statically initializes this at runtime. Do they have something set up where it doesn't reload the domain on every playthrough? But if it doesn't reload the domain, then static timers would stay here. What I'm gonna do. How would I'd have to do something where I like initialize it. Okay. Private, static, void. Runtime initialize on load method. And then timers. I don't even need to do that. We'll just say timer equal new. Just make it a new thing of what it is. That's it. That's all I want you to do. Come on. That'll initialize it at runtime. So that should be okay. Okay, so now we need to reset. We have execute after, and then we'll do private, static, void, reset timer. I don't want a duration. I just want a key. And I'll have to do the key the same way. So string key. And I'm going to have to do the same thing with object caller. Okay. We just used object caller and then we did generate key. Got it. This is going to be my way of like, you know, utility way of managing key presses that I can put a delay in there. Maybe there's something that exists. Is there something that exists? How? Okay. Is there something that creates a delay by default? There has to be, right? Like this is the input system, so there should be something that would it just be in the Well, I'm using direct placement. Is press. Lay? No. Last performed update. Check whether that was performed at any point in the current frame. But I don't really want... I want it like a delayed frame. Not whether it was in one frame. I have a feeling that after reading that, they probably wouldn't implement something that specifically allowed for pressing delayed. Okay. Have a hold interaction. Once it has been started, it will return how far into the hold action. Note the interaction performed. But it has a timeout. Timeout. Return the completion percentage. Okay. This is only if it's being held. The completion, if any, running on a current interaction. Okay. This method is useful, for example, providing UI feedback for ongoing actions. You might want to show progress indicator. Note if the interaction performs and stays performed. No, okay. So it doesn't. There is no like inbuilt thinking that does. So I am going to have to do it. Okay. When it has waited, we're going to say reset timer. Give it a caller. We're going to generate a key for the caller. Crap. I'd have to give it the duration too. I wanted to be clever, so I could just give it like... I could just go and use a string. I could just use a string key for it. And then just not bother with this crap. So try get value key. So if timer dot try get out timer info, then we're just going to say timer dot we'll just do that right there. No, I can't do dot new. I have to like reset the start time. So timer dot start time. Right? So we're just gonna reset the timer. And we're not gonna do anything else there. It's literally just making it so whatever the start time is, it starts over. Okay? In case there's some reason why you like pushed it sooner. Okay. So that should work. Theoretically. And in this case, I'm not going to bother with my fancy methods here. I'm just going to call it the console window timer. Fine. Is pressed. And then we'll say wait timer dot reset. Window. A little janky. I think there's some better ways I could do this, but it'll work for now. We need to make that public though. Okay. That should give me the delay I need. And now I've just enhanced my wait timer. Basically, I was doing some stuff in the command system, that my node and command system, and I was trying to add coroutines because then I could put like a wait on it. But it was causing some major issues with race conditions. So like, well, I just need a utility that gives me the effect of my wait for, but instead of it being in a coroutine, it's kind of like anytime that method gets called, it'll query the wait for and see if the timer has passed yet. So I could set a wait that would just be like, okay, well, it doesn't matter how many times it gets called. Whenever it finally passes the threshold, it'll run the next code. All right, let's try this again. Theoretically, this might work. This is like the first time it doesn't work. No, second time it didn't work there either. What's going on? Why is it not? Do I do that instead? F is half a second. So theoretically, this should wait. Like the first time I press it, it should wait, actually. So what I probably need to do is even like on wait. So what I have to do here is like public void, no, private void. Private. Was this initialized trigger on a wait? I think it does. Okay. So in here, we're gonna create a timer. I should probably make a create method. All right, Rome, have a good night. Sleep well. Thanks for hanging out. Have a good week. I don't talk to you. So we need to do like a create method here. I think we just make a create timer method. Make a public static create. Okay, let's do this. I want to do it the fun way. I want to use my tools. I should really do it. Yeah, good. I was glad to have you here, and you were okay with the soapboxes. You know, who doesn't like to use a mouse when they're coding? You know who doesn't like to use mouse? Primogen. Because he's one of those crazy programmers that does Vim and will extol the values of Vim and why you, too, should use Vim. Not Vimlark, just Vim. And he's probably right, but I don't have any energy to learn Vim. Never have, never will. Which goes back to developers don't have to learn everybody else's technique. But hopefully they can learn something about it. So I don't really need to return a Boolean, do I? Oh no, so the problem is this is stupid. Okay. So we're going to return the timer. We don't need to. So regardless of whether the timer is there, we're going to return it. I don't particularly like. This is okay. The problem is there's like an implicit, oh, well, there's a timer here and we hide it. I don't really like hiding it. I don't think it's gonna hurt to generate a new timer here. I could do an else statement, but you know, at the end of the day, the amount of like impact on performance is so minimal. And I'd rather it like flow better. I'd rather have clean code. Because you know, clean code's always better. And then we need to return what? What's going on here? It would? Oh, I see. That's what the task is. It's gonna say something like remove a redundant initializer. Okay, I suppose. Really? Will that just create? How's that redundant? I don't think that's redundant. I'm just really confused by its recommendations. I still have to initialize it with values, right? Does it? It doesn't get initialized. Weird. We'll just leave it there. Fine. We can be redundant. We can be redundant. I said it twice. That was being, never mind. Tell you when you're older. All right, so I'll create timer here. That way, when we get started, we will have a timer that we start with. Yes. Okay. So let's go back to here. We're gonna do wait timer. Why not? Oh, I have to do like this thing. Can we not return that? Is it private? I'm okay with that. I can deal with it. This is not clean code. Clean code sucks! Never write clean code ever! Never use type declarations if you don't have to. Ever. That's the rule, folks. I didn't make the rules. I just follow them. Never write bad code. Ever. That's the rule. In this case, the timer doesn't really matter. Although, I guess I use this as a key so that, like, it's using and whatever. Like, I think that should work, right? We have to make sure that it's waited at least 0.5 seconds. And has waited is just processing the timer. I know it says create, but it'll just get it otherwise. So just resetting it if it needs to. If start time is greater than or equal to duration, then we remove the timer. Right. Oh. Did I just spend all this effort? Yes, I did, didn't I? The timer resets itself. Somehow I knew better than I knew myself when I did this. Now I am working this week, so probably gonna do another 45-ish minutes. I'm spending too much time on this stuff. I should go do another command. That's what we're gonna do. More commands, more work, get more things done. I don't want the menu controller. I want the debug manager, which I already have. So why reinvent the wheel when you already have things? Just make the thing. I forgot how change level got rendered. Then I press play. I got 2 in the weeds in my brain, thinking about crabs. And still have Sandy's Great Escape up here, watching them get all crabby. Kind of weird that it's not. No reference. No reference. Hey, look at that. Wait timer's borked now. What's going on here? Oh, I have it reversed. Guess what it was written the first time was okay? No, that was... Oh, but I think it defaults it to, like, nothing. Fine. We'll do it your way. Fine. You know what? I don't care. Your way, right away. Burger King, baby. So this, if there is a timer, it'll return it. If there's not, it will create it, shove it into the array, and there you go. I'm gonna have to get rid of all these. I don't want the QA testers to see all that debug output. I'm gonna have to like turn it off for them. I just want a console. I just want to console them with a console, because those are spelled exactly the same, that they can, you know, cheat. They can change the level of the characters. I'll have a give money option. I'll probably have like give all items. It'd be kind of cool if I could do a give item where you can like autocomplete by search. That'd be kind of cool. Or I can just have them give all items. You know. Whatever. Now, I wonder if I do this. Get the command. The mouse, why is it doing that? So now, did I do it in reverse? Is that the problem? Let's see. On update, if is open, then we close it. If it's not open, then we open it. UI Manager, disable autofocus. Finalize open. Lock control. Exclusion all events. Ordering things? Oh. Right. So I need to do I still need to do this one here. And I think what we'll do is we start it. Yeah, we start this because it's initialized. And then once you've pressed the button, I think that'll work. The problem is that there's a mismatch. This is where like my console opening versus the quantum thing, they're not fully connected. So there's a mismatch between the quantum console opening, which I could probably do something that syncs them up. But I really want to just make more commands right now. While it does its thing here, we have change level. We don't need to load game yet. Let's do give money or add money. Update money. Okay. I'm going to say add money or set money. Add money can be positive or negative. So we'll do. I thought I had something to actually call that. Oh, I just did it as a property. I made it set the property. I get it. With a button. This gets the money. Okay. I don't really need to get it, right? Actually, that's kind of cool. So what I can do is I can actually make a method for it. I can make a public static void add money. And then I just say money equals amount, or money plus equals amount. I think. Is it not? I'll have to do instant. No, it's not. What calls update money? How did I do this? Oh, I do call update money. Okay. So I guess it does. I can just call it that. No, I can't. Can I? There you go. And then I like money. Look at this. Hey, Laser. Happy holidays to you. How's your jaw doing? Are you I'm thinking of a chew joke, but I didn't come up with one. You know what? I choose not to make any jokes about your jaw. Which also sounds a lot like juice, which I'm sure you're drinking a lot of. Liquid food. Good weight loss regime, I hear. Hopefully it's going well. Hopefully you're doing fine. Wait. Quantum requires an event system in the scene. There is one right there. How did that happen? And the event system did not get enabled. If I hold the button down, it's closing it. Okay, so I do need to make my console aware of it. So what we have to do is console window. You've got the override. Can we override is open? We can. Hacking rules, no. All right. So for is open, we're not going to set it, but we are going to get it. Does it not have a... When would we set is open? We do. Damn it. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll put a getter here. I'm all right. This following's going away and then quicker than expected. I have a, wow, 6 weeks. I mean, it's 6 weeks. You'll be fine. It'll be fine. What's going on here? What do I need? Returns. Okay. Well, I hope that you're, I've been fine, recovered from COVID and having some good time working on some consoles. You know how that goes. Okay. So we have to check if not only if is open is true. So var result equals is open. If, wait, what am I doing? I'm dumb. Return this dot is open and quantum quantic. Come on, you can do this. We got this. We can do quantum console. No. How do I see if it's open? Is active, I think, is what it says. This will imply that I can't open the menu. Yeah. Okay. So then what we have to do is else if this is a problem I had earlier. I actually can't check this. So what I have to do is I have to do... No. This will work. Yeah. Okay. If quantum console is not null, then I can do the next thing. The reason is because the quantum console instance doesn't get set until the first time it opens. It's a weird scenario. Motzi always makes it through. I've tried. You don't have to try so hard. The only time I really got something completed well was when Wallaber was watching me, telling me how to fix my stuff. I don't do it on my own. When I'm on my own, I fizzle out about this time, and I sit there banging my head against stupid problems, and then I'm like, okay, I give up. I'm done. And bye. Just leave. Not like those profesh programmers that they just have to get problems solved before they finish streaming. I'm just like, I call it good. But we have the ability with this console to do things. And right now I'm really just dicking around with things that aren't important. Still. I mean, it really does kind of annoy me that the console opens and like the character's moving. There's also this problem with the event system. I wonder why the event system is not... So if I turn that on, still not doing it. So now here's the question: is it not saying there's an instance? Quantum console dots. I want to find out what's going on with the quantum console. What I'll do is when I press this, I will say so I'm just gonna see if I can get it. So if it's not null, I want to find out what the value is of the active status. Where does this get set? Active equals true. It should be set true because it says activate equals true. Where does maybe there's a problem with the instance never getting set? Singleton reference only valid and set if the singleton option is enabled for the console. Ah. Well, there's your problem. Like the heartache for all my other problems too. All right. Well, that should maybe fix that. I love this little. I love that I could style the console in the retro feel. Like it's not just some like weird. Like it looks like it's part of the game. I like that. It kind of makes me want to make that incorporated into the game. Like the whole idea of the game is there's some like fourth wall breaking that the console can become part of it. That'd be kind of. Except I don't want to deal with that because then I'd have to manage people being able to type things in. It's not. I don't want to deal with that at all. It's theoretically fun, kind of like those ads we were talking about earlier. But then when you play it for real, you're like, not so good. Now, I still don't know why the event system is not enabled. I might have to do something that like forces it to be enabled. I'll debug that later. Okay, so now we can have add money, which I probably need to name them more like concepts. This is kind of a weird. Anyway, so we'll do like add 9999999. So we've added 99999, and if I go look at like the character money, why did we not get our? Oh, good. Now we're not getting our controls back. Perfect. That's exactly what I want. All right. Well, I got the debug manager. I can go look at it here. Could not find exact method change level because there are several. Oh, okay. Where's our money? Look at all the money we have. Okay. So we've added money and we can change level. I need to go fix my freaking mess. Yeah. We have a race condition is the problem. So what we're going to do is not do this. We're going to get rid of all this garbage completely. And instead, we're gonna say, if it, geez, you know, did I start with a conversation about like early optimization? I should probably have something that like is a property to check these things. And then I also need to do something where it's like a UI manager dot. I don't know if I want to get, I don't, I'm going to do, all right, have a good night, Laser. Hope you sleep well. Yeah. If it's not enabled, we will enable it. Gonna be some problems if I'm in them. If I'm like not in a menu, it'll leave it enabled after it close. So we'll make a property private boon. Clean up. We'll make a property, I guess. Do I care about? Do I make private? No, I don't. They're lowercase. You're gonna tell me it's not being used. Okay, so if we have to clean it up, we say clean events equal true, and then here we'll say if in the event system. That'll make sure that whatever the state of the event system was, we just reset it. Right? And thanks, Dave H, again for that tier 1 sub that you gifted, Tom Sutton. All right, so is this gonna work? Yes. Question mark. And then I did the add money, but I need to go back here, and there's like a change level problem. Change. The problem is this is using this inline button called change level, but there's more than one change level. So I have to like, I guess, change the name of this. Change. Okay. So that should solve that problem. I think I want to make the commands look like console commands. So right now it's doing the, so I have to like give it a name. Okay. That's pretty simple. So we're going to go to add money. We'll already have it literally right there. And we'll call it add money. I wonder if there's a way to do like a, show it. I could make it just swallow it. Like if the this is like not true, I guess. Say if do double check here, make sure we don't, you know, try to set something that doesn't exist because we haven't loaded the game yet. So that should be good. Yeah, add money, change level. Here. Ooh. Oh, you're having some problems there, aren't you? Okay. Then what else we got? What else can we set? I want to do like the map changes will be pretty cool. I'm not gonna do that right now. We do teleporting at some point. I can move the player to coordinates. That'd be kind of fun. Set position. But I would want to put some rails around this so they knew what they could set. Box height modifier, no. I could do set. Oh, I think I have like set HP. Right? Well, let's update HP. Where's it go? I did the same thing as it was before. Okay. So when we get the hit points, we said if they're less than 1, the heroes can no. Okay. So I can do the same thing I did with add money. That HP. This is kind of neat. I can just go add whatever commands I want. I love that. It's so nice. I might have to do static though, right? So we're gonna do static so that we don't have to worry about their registry. Instance hit point equals HP. Well, actually, we have to say is if. Is there a way to validate? I think there was. What do we got here? Auto complete. Command actions. Countdown. Wait frame. What are these? Included actions. Read line gets the next line of text. Oh, that's just. What are lambda commands? It's crazy that you can do lambda commands in this. Registry expressions. Is there a way to validate those? Extras, events, preprocessors. Doesn't look like it's got anything that would validate. I assume it would mean I would just need to have my command itself. So, how do I write? Oh, it'd just be debug warn, I guess. Yeah, because it's using the it's literally using the console. So we're gonna do if HP is less than 0. I guess we can just automatically set it to 0. We're gonna set it to 1 because we don't really want it to be 0. The player can never get below 0 by default. Okay, so this is a problem. I have to be able to. Okay, so I can't just set the HP. I have to pick the hero, right? I have to be able to select the hero. This is a little more complicated. So how do we select in this order platform? Where's my ChatGPT? I had a ChatGPT going for this. So let me see here. All right. For a command, if I had a list of heroes that were how do I provide the person using the console with the list of current heroes available? Maintain a dynamic list. Okay, I already have my list. Good. Just, create it and then implement it. Got it. Oh, okay, yeah. But I want to do this is I guess I could look at autocomplete. I bet you the answer's like right there, and I just should have clicked on autocomplete. Suggester tags are tags under, in some cases, for creating your own suggester tag. How's this work? Do I have to make a whole class for this? Oh my god. So Quantum Console will suggest auto-completion as you type, including commands, macros. Okay. You may want to extend this by writing your own. Okay, so I'd have to make my own suggester. That sucks. I mean, it's not. I mean, it solves a problem, right? But it just, I'm annoyed that I have to do it. So I guess I just have to make a suggester thing. Do we make an attribute and a QC suggester? Okay. Oh, that's so annoying. It shouldn't be annoying because it's really not too hard. I'm just annoyed. So I have a place I was already doing attributes. Why was I doing that? I kind of want the attributes to be part of debug though. Wonder if this will cause more problems. And it solves. So we'll call it a party. Right? Party member suggester attributes. This is going to be the thing that we use for the autocomplete. We'll make it a suggester tag attribute, and also import it, and apparently also include whatever this garbage is. And then we're going to create a tag. Maybe I should rename this like debug console. You know what? More clear. What? No. I just want to rename. No, I don't want to do any of these. I don't give a flip of any of this stuff. Exclude all. Screw you and all these changes. My god. If I go back and like change every reference of the word debug, my life would be in shambles. Oh no, I have version control. Never mind. Okay, so get successor tags. Woo! Saved my life. No. We want to get a. We'll make a suggester folder, I guess. And we'll call it and we call it Puppy Love. Thank you very much. I get it. Just give me everything. So can provide suggestions. Okay. So then we do here. We don't wait. What am I doing here? What did you include? Why are you here? Please tell me that changing the folder name did not change. What is this? Comment. No, I want why would you? So it did do the thing I didn't want it to do. It changed references to the word debug because I was dumb enough to make a folder named debug. Let's see here. I'm hoping there's not a lot of places that did this, but for whatever reason, it just seems to be in here. But what are you what is it referencing? I don't see source.dratzy.debug in here. Okay, so we'll go back here. That got changed. It's because I had that one stupid thing in there. That's fine. Okay. So now it's having a problem because I deleted some garbage. I don't see any red. Okay. This is ID. This is why you should use Vim and never use an IDE, because I'm kidding. I think you should still use it. All right. So anyway, tangents, of course, as always. What? All right, I got a weird request. I want to see what was going on. Okay, so the way their suggesters work, you use an attribute that represents the tag, and then you can provide suggestions. Okay, which makes sense. It has to have the tag, sure. And this is called a raw suggestion. Yikes. Which is just the list. I think that's okay because I can still return a dynamic list here, I think. Okay. So this is okay. I can literally just like steal their existing code. I wonder if this is needed. Do I even need this now? Does it? I was hoping maybe like it would just default something. So it's not ability tag name, it's party member. How do they do this? What is ability tag name? Oh crap. They have to have a struct. Oh. Why would they do that? Why would you have to create a struct? Can I get away with shoving this somewhere where the sun don't shine? Like tags, I guess. All right. There we go. So we have the suggester tag, I suppose, which means we should be able to do party member tag. And then we have to convert it into, we'll return new raw. I don't want a raw suggestion though. So what can we return? Does it exist somewhere? No. What if there's a different thing that in? I want to see if they have something else they can implement. So they have a set suggestion, which would be, but that might not be too bad. Suggestion set, a managed set of suggestions. How does that get used? They have an index and the current selected suggestion in a set. Because I need to pass in the. I guess I could do something that would look up the character by name, so maybe it doesn't really matter. I don't need to make it complicated. Okay, so then we'll do a, you know, like Dratsy 1, Dratsy 2, yeah, cute. We'll call it SGB player data manager. So if there is no data though, I have to do like var result equals a new list if SGB player data manager dot instance does not equal null. Oh, I have a current party method. That's cute. This is important. I got to figure out how this autocomplete works because I'm going to use it a lot. Because people who are going to use this stuff have to, you know, they have to know how to put values in here. Thank you, Copilot, for co-piloting me through this mess. Appreciate it. And we return the list. Okay. Why are you not happy? Let's do current party dot with a capital M. So that might work. Okay, so we have all the pieces we need. Everything is connected. I think, did we do that? So we have to do this one right here. Which I think it said, oh, we just return. Why would you? Can I just do that? I guess because there could be more than one tag or something. Wrong here. Add an explicit name. Okay, they just have we have to be explicit because whatever, it doesn't matter. So that should work. Then how do these work? How does autocomplete work with custom tag? We have custom suggesters, which doesn't tell me how they're used. We go to documentation autocomplete. Wait, what is this? Did I go through all that work for nothing? Excuse me. This doesn't say how command name is used. Specifies that command name value should be suggested. No, it's just command names. So we have, how do we use our custom suggestion? We just use our attribute, I guess. So I guess we would go to here and we would say, string here. Place the attributes into. Okay, hold on. Okay. Goes here. That was what I saw earlier, and like, oh, it's weird. It's right there, but that's what you have to do because this is saying this value is being suggested by that, right? At the moment, I don't really care. I just want to see it work because I've touched enough code. But that's kind of neat. So you can make a custom suggester for an attribute or parameter, and that will then look at your list. And if for string values, easy, right? Easy peasy. It'll just pass a string. You'll have to do something with the string. This probably would be a way where I could get like the direct ID or the actual object and have a string reference, but this is fine for the sake of just right now getting things to work. Which, incidentally, going back to how I started my stream, talking about how Primogen and them talk, the idea is that, and I'm slightly optimized, like I'm slightly doing extra things, but you got to get code working. Like you can't make code better until you understand what the heck you're doing with it. And the more you try to like pre-architect it, the worse the outcome is going to be, because you can't know how it's actually going to work until you start digging in. All right, so we're frozen there. Perfect. So we're going to do set HP. Look at that. Isn't that cool? And I can hit tab. That's really cool. That's really cool. I like that. It's so cool. Okay. So, yeah. What we're going to say then is, there's the HP, and then we do get member. We have to do like a get member by string. No, I don't want that. I want this one. Hero. Get member. String. And then we'll search for it. So root. Okay. Then we're gonna just loop over all the members, and then we'll do like, we're gonna say like var member name member equals member. Now, here's a fun little fact. Wait, why is that? Oh, I don't do varies. So here's the fun fact. Don't use too lower. Use too lower invariant. Don't be like Motzi and learn the hard way that if you don't use invariant, you can get in trouble with other country localizations. Member ROM equals member name. Okay, perfect. So if they equal each other, then, and what we'll do is hero result equals null, and then break, and then return result. Now we can get the member by a string, which is necessary for our method. So hero is going to say get member player if hero does not equal null, else, especially because we're using debugger. Please stop. I don't want to do debug log error. I want to do console.writeLine. Hero player, not $. Let's just do interpolation. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. So what should happen then is it's not going to set the HP unless this gets updated accordingly. Okay, so that's good. I think console.writeLine. Perfect. Okay. Then we get some feedback and hope it works. Oh no, it's 11. Ugh. How does this happen to me? I was trying to be done before 11. I got too caught up in this stupid. I mean, this is good. This is like, you know, offline I can spend all the time I need to like fine tune all this stuff. It's not the tuna. To set HP. Oops, no. Set HP. We'll do Atlas and we'll set it to 34. So console WriteLine does not output the value, unfortunately. Which means, let's see, can I get to it in the debug manager? I don't have output on my little thing here, so I'll have to change it. Actually, I wonder if there's a way to like output to the console only. Events. Quantum console. On state change. Unclear. On deact. So these are just things I could hook into. Is there anything that lets... Maybe I could just look at the actual quantum. What is it? Logs message to Unity console identical to debug.log. Actually use debug logs. Yes. Apparently it is. I think it's only looking at the Uni console. So I wonder if there's anything in the instance, maybe. They even have localization. It's kind of log to console. Okay. So what does this do? Is this only logging something output to the console? Logs text to the quantum console. Okay, so that's what it'd have to do. I need to like wrap this because I don't really want to make all these direct references. But moment. Just want this to work. This is because my thing's getting frozen. I'll put a note, so all right. Apparently, I just learned that one of the reasons we're having some confusion, our beta menu isn't being forced to display because it's no longer beta now. It's like our main menu is our main menu. There's no reason to fit beta mode. I need it disabled. I need to make it so the flag doesn't matter anymore. So set HP Atlas 30. Boom. Okay, I have to take its word for it because I can't unfreeze the character. But that's a good way to stop. I mean, great. The console's working. I now know how I can do lookups. This is fantastic. I'm really excited by this. Quantum Console is amazing. Check it out. Unity asset, only if you use Unity, obviously. Maybe some other tools have their other consoles. Maybe some engine has it built in. I don't know. Whatever. All right. Bye. Okay, so let's go back to chat. I'm not ending with a rant. I'm just ending with, showing the credits and saying, hey, y'all, thanks for hanging out. Guess we could go raid somebody. I could just end it. We don't need to raid anybody, right? We can just be like, fade into the night like little bunnies. Then I don't have to worry about like saying goodbye to the next person. So I'm going to do that. Y'all have a good night. I'll be back on Saturday. I think, yes. But I won't be back Tuesday after because I'll be out of town. So y'all have a wonderful week. Me personally, everyone else is home here. And I'll be seeing you on Saturday if you decide to show up. All right. Have a good night.